Hey guys, welcome to the Starting Million. Welcome. So my name is Asher Au. Hello. So what is the Starting Million? For some of you who actually do not know, this is something brand new that I'm creating. Starting Million really is about a show that I'm calling it out. Okay, it's my journey to get to a million. So it's actually when along this journey, I will be meeting a whole bunch. I know for sure that I'll be meeting a whole bunch of different people that are very interesting, and I have already met a bunch of people who are very, very cool. So one of them I happen to invite onto this show, and I want to introduce him in a bit. So let me just describe a little bit about who this next gentleman is. Okay, so he is Mr. Kenneth Yu. He is the accidental founder of the Write Your Own Damn Cheque movement. Kenneth teaches entrepreneurially-driven financial independence through an interdisciplinary system of persuasion, personal growth, and strategic thinking. Kenneth's obsessed with telling stories that part people with their money. So if you happen to be someone like that, you're interested, stick around. Okay, it's going to be very cool. All right, so he expresses that in helping corporates like McDonald's, Fujitsu, and Zurich Insurance with cultural transformation and multiple companies that he owns and consults. And recently, he has used those skills to create 2 Clickbank Platinum Winners in a matter of months, including the current number 1 in his category. Plus, he has also leveraged that unique ability into becoming a mentor and advisor to Silicon Valley startups, including 500 startups, one of the most renowned incubators in the world. Along the way, he won the World Marketing Congress, Top 50 Global Digital Marketing Leaders, the World Brand Congress Most Influential Digital Media Leader, Cannes Lion, London International, D&AD, and numerous other international accolades. So, without further ado, I am going to pull up Mr. Kenneth Yu onto the screen right now. Welcome to Mr. Kenneth. Welcome. Hey.
Woo! Hello, how are
Yeah.
you?
Good. Thanks for coming into the show. And frankly speaking, you have so many accolades, and I'm really honored that you can actually come onto the show and just have a chat with me. So, because I'm just starting out, you're pretty much there already.
Yeah, I support everybody who's part of the Write Your Own Damn Cheque movement, and you're part of it. You're one of my clients. You have trusted me with enrolling in my programs, and therefore I try to support my students as much as I can. Otherwise, I don't usually entertain these sort of, as you know, these sort of interviews.
Yes.
I'm slightly introverted. I like my cave. I like to just come up with content, absorb the markets, absorb the knowledge, and just make money for myself and for my students.
Very cool. I'm honored and thankful that I got the opportunity because I got to pay my way there. So for the rest of you guys who's watching this right now, it's free. I got to pay my way there, So so anyway, for you guys, right, if you are watching this show right now, okay, leave a comment because we are live, not just join us here. Leave a comment. I'll flash up the comments straight up onto the show when required. Okay. So before we get to that, right? So maybe kind of just to let everyone get to know you a little bit more, okay? Can you just share with us a little bit about how you got started and how you got onto where you got started and how you got it to where you are right now?
So my entrepreneurial journey started as a love story. So I basically fell in love with this beautiful girl. Just celebrated our 12th wedding anniversary 2 weeks ago. Yeah, thank you. And then next day we got locked down, but at least we got to celebrate the wedding anniversary. WYODC, Mark. Awesome.
Woo!
Glad you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it actually started as like my love story and my business story all started at the same time. So basically, we wanted to get married. We didn't have money to get married, so we launched a e-course, an e-product. We launched the first e-course on Twitter marketing back in its day. So that was about 12 years ago, or 13 years ago, actually. And then we broke even in 5 minutes. We made money in half an hour, and we financed the wedding in under a month. In fact, the person that actually kicked off the product launch was none other than Stuart Tan. You may know him. So he did a webinar with me 12 years ago. Nice. And he put trust in us, even though we were unknowns and everything. And then, like I said, we broke even. It became a 6-figure business in 3 months.
Wow.
Shows that we did something right. And we have been on this journey ever since. And so what has happened is we've been figuring things out for the last 12 years. I mean, 12 years is a long time to figure things out. I made a lot of mistakes as an entrepreneur. I paid the stupid tax. So my wife and I actually started the business together. So she's our business partner and everything. We grew to quite a huge company. We were in several countries. We service clients at McDonald's, Fujitsu, and all these things. And now we are coming back to our first love, because we started with info products. We left info products because the local market was so much more lucrative. The local corporate market was so much more lucrative. And now we're back to info products again, because now this is where the trends are. So that's the start of my journey.
Super cool. So you started from, my gosh, Twitter. Like, I think most Singaporeans now we're talking about Twitter. It's like, what's that so old stuff? But Twitter is still the rage. It's still ongoing in America, I would say, and even
Elon,
Japan as well. Yeah. So that's
I made
my
money
gosh.
from Elon today. I made money from Elon today. He tweeted Dodge. I saw Dodge. I bought Dogecoin. I made 10%. Just in like 2 minutes or something. So
Wow. Nice. I think so, guys. If you want to learn how the follow Kenneth and follow learn from Elon as well, because if it's making money quick, Kenneth's there.
yes.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a question for you though. So can you just share a little bit about what's going on now? There's what you doing now, what's going on now, and what's your current focus?
Okay, let me tell you my overall big focus. I know you talk about the future and everything, but I feel that's actually middle term. What's after the future? What's the big picture? For me, the bigger picture is basically we live in a time of the great wealth transfer. So we live in a time where it is, if you know what to do, if you know how to navigate the volatility and the chaos, you can make a lot of money. So if you know how to ride the waves, if you know how to see the trends, and you know how to position yourself accordingly, you can make a lot of money, because volatility creates cash. Volatility creates wealth. It's not stability that creates wealth. So that's why all the people who make the most fortunes are not, in a sense, they don't go, if they're in Europe, they go to either Africa or China or one of these places, or Malaysia or Myanmar or Vietnam, because when there's a little bit more volatility, there's actually an increase of wealth. I mean, a very good example is all the crypto guys. Last year, Bitcoin was at 3,000. You park in $10,000 now, so you park in $100,000, you'll be a millionaire by now.
Yeah.
So these sort of volatility. That means the laws of wealth, I feel, are changing, because it used to be you work hard, you go to the market, you invest slowly, and you work your way up. But there is a way of acceleration right now. And my whole obsession is to position myself correctly. So let me tell you the 3-year plan. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing now in regards to all of that.
Yeah, cool.
So there is we are in the 12th year of a 14-year cycle. We're in the 12th year of a 14-year cycle with exponential increase in computing power. So what that means is in 2 years, there'll be a next level of computing technology, which is the things like the blockchain and DeFi and IoT and all those things, the Internet of Everything, they call it. Because if you actually track the 12 and the 40-year cycle, if you go back 12 years, we will actually see that it was the emergence of the mobile internet. So basically, you go 14 years before that, it was the creation of the internet and the internet protocols. You go 14 years before that, it was the creation of the PC. No, not 4 years, 14 years. You go 14 years before that, it was the creation of the mainframe, and 14 years before that was the creation of the microchip.
Interesting.
And every 14-year cycle, new millionaires and billionaires are created. Like Apple did it twice. They did it once with the PC and they became a billion-dollar company, struggled. But then when mobile internet hit, they're now $1 trillion company. So, and then Dell, IBM's during and Microsoft all during the PC era. And now we're at this emergence where technology is fragmented, but it's going all these different directions. So things like genetic splicing and all those different things. So what does that have to do with you? So you might be asking, okay, this 14-year cycle. So the key, right, is can you see an emergence in the trend? And because can you, one, position your business, your market, your service, or your products towards that vein? Or number two, can you be an advisor to a startup that operates in this and get traded for equity? Or number three, just do investments in these things. Make enough money at your current day-to-day and then pump it into the markets in all this technological stuff. Money you can afford to lose because a few of them are speculative and everything. But that's where the future comes. And that's where wealth can actually happen.
Okay, so it's very much based on positioning and understanding the trends, what's ongoing, but that also because you've actually been very aware of this for a long period of time. You've been observing this kind of stuff. But if I were to tap your brains a little bit, what is, because you're saying 12 to 14, we're on the 12th year or the 14th, right?
Yeah.
So right now we are on the 12th. Is it too late for people to climb onto this current one? And what do you think is going to happen for the next wave?
I mean, it's the best time to come in now. The thing is, your 2 years later, some of the technologies are starting to mature, which means that if you come from an investment standpoint, you may actually get better returns. Let me give you an example: 3D printing. So a few years ago, 3D printing was a B2C sort of thing. So it was very much hobbyists buy printing machines and then do 3D printing, print like cute toys and everything. But that didn't take off. But when they realized 3D printing is a manufacturing miracle, suddenly there's a boom. Because now, let's say in China, you don't have to ship your stuff to China anymore. You can just do a 3D printing anywhere in the world. So basically, you can even 3D print entire showrooms. So the interior designer can give you the specs you can print out and just put it in, in your different country. So 3D printing is, I believe, the next manufacturing. And so when that happens, it just means that, now things are getting more mature. Or crypto. Is it too late to get into crypto? Not at all. I mean,
so young.
Yeah, it's so young. I mean, Citibank
is so young,
I mean, Citibank is saying that, Bitcoin will go up to 300,000 end of this year. And it's only 40,000 now. And Ethereum will go up to 20,000 by end of this year. These are said by reputable people, not quackpots. So, and even if not, you probably make something. So, so from that standpoint, you're not late. In fact, you're still considered relatively early. So position yourself accordingly.
Okay. So we need to position ourselves correctly. So in terms of about currently on what's your current focus, I might ask, if we come back a little bit. So I know you might have touched a little bit. Maybe you can just expand there on what's your current focus.
Okay. So again, I observe how I look at the economy is what I call a K-shaped economy. And K basically means that because of the pandemic, certain things have accelerated and certain things have decelerated.
Yep.
So if you look at, let's say, virtual events are going up, actual events are going down. The travel industry is going like this. I mean, that might be temporary, but business travel is going down, it's never coming back the way it's supposed to be. Commercial real estate is going down, at least in the States or certain parts of the States, and it's never coming back. But then there are K that has happened. Like if you're in digital marketing, especially internet marketing, in terms of online courses, if you actually come with online courses, there was a boom last year. Like everyone in my circle have said that they have seen results they've never seen before in their lives. And in a sense, I was part of that boom. So I saw it, I capitalized, I said, okay, now is the best time to go back into info products. Because the last few years, I've been doing a lot more digital marketing for corporates because that's where the trend was. So the trend was nobody understood digital marketing, which means we had an advantage over the large corporations, your Ogilvy's and all those things. And we managed to snag really huge contracts. I mean, we got McDonald's, we got the telcos. Like our average client size was actually more than $1 billion. So so what that means is you can have your own skills, but my advice for you is if you're a specialist or coach and all those things, look into the info product space and courses space, because online education is one of those on top of the K, which means it is boom time for doing courses. That's in a more accessible way. Like if you don't want to start an AI startup or something, then this is what you do. So if you're not in technology, then you're in something that takes advantage of the technology and the adoption. So e-courses. I'm doing supplements as well. And supplements is another thing that went up. So it's not necessarily all technology. Sometimes even like health-related stuff went up. Like last year, the supplement industry ran out of bottles. They didn't even have enough bottles for they ran out of bottles.
They ran out of bottles? Wow, that's new. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So my friends, not the friends, but people I know in the industry, like the Clickbank industry, if you make $1 million a month, it's considered good. One of the supplement guys made 17 million in 2 months, from scratch, from zero.
Wow.
Mainly because it was part of the K. So always look at the K, and the accessibility things is some of the e-commerce stuff, but you need to do it correctly. Supplements it's good right now if you can ship to the States. And by e-courses, if you have any form of expertise, or you can work with somebody any form of expertise, if you know how to market it, that will be the boom trend for the every person.
So if you're, I think you tapped on something very important. I think like a lot of people feel that they have a certain skill, they have certain knowledge, but they don't have the know-how to market themselves, because sometimes one is that they are not confident. Secondly is they just don't feel like they want to become like those, put it this way, sleazy salespeople, the guru, they put themselves out there, but they don't actually have achieved any results. How can someone overcome that kind of feeling, or how to market themselves better?
One, you better actually need to have a skill. So that's preliminary. Because if you don't have a skill, what you default to is generic personal development. And generic personal development on the totem pole of value is very low. So if you keep telling people don't give up or something on your Facebook wall or everything, it's not going to translate to value. It's not going to translate to money. It's not. But usually people who do that, and again, if you're doing that for fun, fine. But if you're doing that because somehow you want to find something to eat, it's a waste of time. I think life's too short to not be effective in your money making. Personally, that's what I feel. You need to be as effective as you can, as quickly as you can. I mean, unless you're on this journey of self-discovery and you can afford to have a journey of self-discovery, then go ahead. I had a journey the last 2-3 years. If you can afford it, go ahead. But if you can't, and you need a more effective strategy. And so that's one. Number two, I feel, is you need to be able to, in a sense, instead of being solution focused, to be problem focused. That means don't focus so much on your ability. Like say, I'm an LP coach, this is NLP. Rather focus on the problem of the customer that you have. Like, my customer is this. Like, I got a lot of success from my e-course because I wasn't telling people I was selling a course on how to do e-courses, because that's quite common. But what I say, look, are you concerned with the shutdown, and do you want a scalable income stream? And that, because everybody's things were shut down, they hopped onto that bandwagon. And that continued and the crazy thing is, I thought it will be a one-time thing. Like, I thought by August everything will be back to normal, but it's even more relevant now than it ever was before. Like
Yeah.
the virus isn't going away. It's just nuts.
It's just mutating. It just keeps going, you know.
Yeah, true. It's
Yeah. So
crazy, right?
it is, it is. And I hear you that you say something very cool is because like, a lot of people they tend to like when they market themselves, they tend to sell a lot about the results. Like for example, look at my Lamborghini, look at my this, look at my big results, look at stuff like that. But I've always found that doing such strategies tend to push people much more than attract people. Because people can't relate. It's not easy to relate to being a millionaire if you're not a millionaire. It's not easy to relate to getting those amazing results if you don't have that, right? Like or like a guy, let's say if I'm not into this niche, but let's say we're talking about a dating niche, and you see a guy that's surrounded with all the hot babes, and I'm just a single dude that's like a bit scrawny. I can't relate to that kind of thing. But if you can talk about the problems, you know, like for example, that guy, he's the very guy that's surrounded by all the girls. He can say, you know, I was once this, I was once that. Are you suffering this problem? Then it becomes relatable. So it's a bit of a dance between uh, what people can achieve and their current situation. Does that sound right?
I think you need both. Like if you actually look at my branding shots, they're all very aspirational. Like I don't flaunt a car, I don't flaunt a watch, but I flaunt a lifestyle. You know, I travel the world with my wife, go Paris, go Finland, and travel the world and everything because you want to future pace your people as well. So my group isn't a Lambo chasers. My group, some of them already drive Lambos anyway. so they drive. Like one of them has a YouTube channel and it was like driving some Batman car recently or something. So, that's some some of the members of the mastermind are in that category. So, but for me, it's if that's what your target audience chase, then you give them what they want. You solve their problem and you say, this is the future version of what you could be. Because I think it was Charmaine, I don't know if she's here, but Charmaine, you did GCI with her. She says that the ideal customer, I thought it was actually brilliant, is a past version of yourself. So I thought that was actually quite cool. So the ideal customer is a past version of yourself. So I thought that's an interesting thing. So if you can actually be aspirational, because people don't learn from peers, people learn from gurus or learn from teachers. You don't have to be a guru status, but you need to be at least 2 or 3 steps ahead of the other person.
Right, very cool. So that means when someone, like you're talking about creating info products, they're putting the product out there but when they market themselves, they can future pace, and they can also talk about the problems, and then yeah, so interesting. So that's a very good insight that you're sharing for free that I have to pay for. So appreciate it. Because when I started, I mean, I was like, there's a lot of things I was trying to do, but you made it very simple. You made it easy to understand that sometimes you need to future pace yourself, show people what you can do, or what is achievable, and then you help people get there. So I think that's a very good thing to understand especially when coming with your own info products.
Yeah. And then I think for me, my approach is very different. Like I give content that is free, that's so mind-blowing that people think they should pay for it. So I have a lot of people come to me and say, your no corona free Facebook course is better than most paid courses out there. And for me, that's how I think even Pagan call it moving the free line.
Yeah, moving the free line. Yeah.
Yeah, so making your content as valuable as possible, and the people who finds value in the content join you, and if not, they have a good impression of you and they join you later on. Because what I realized is, after coming back into info products, there are a lot of people that have already made up their mind. They want to join a certain, like let's say the inner sanctum. They want to join inner sanctum, which is my highest end mastermind. But at that point, they either don't have the resources or it wasn't the right timing. And then when they found out it open again, immediately joined. Like immediately, all those people were from the earlier batches all came in. And so for me, it's to keep delivering that sort of value. People will come, but people need to appreciate that value as well. So that's why I don't really do a lot of interviews or Facebook lives and all those things, because I find I deliver most value in a closed setting. So when people make the time to listen to me, I actually now have license to speak to them, and they actually will, in a sense, be more receptive to everything I say.
Okay. So I have a question for you earlier. You were talking about value. And I think the value that you say you give a lot of value mostly in a closed group. But to some people, they don't understand how to give value. They don't know what does the word value even mean. It's like the stuff I do is natural. How is it valuable to someone else? Or, could you expand a little bit about how do you create something that's valuable?
I think one good example was so Mark Teo interviewed me 2-3 days ago. And so we're talking about GameStop and everything. So everybody wants to know about GameStop, doesn't know what's actually going on. And then I gave a perspective of GameStop, and I actually gave okay, these are some investment strategies that, like meme stock strategies, that you can actually follow and all those things. So a lot of it is top of mind. Like, what's the urgent situation that your customer is facing? I mean, the other thing is give people what they want in a way they don't expect. So this is the value, but then you use either you can name things a certain way, or you can relate it to a certain thing in the industry. So it makes it sound a little bit more mysterious. Like, what people want is novelty, what people want is mystery. And so that's what I do really well. Like, you probably heard of the UFO.
Yep.
And recently a socialite from one of the richest men in Africa tweeted out about the UFO, because she actually joined my course. I think it was
cool.
next to the Holy Grail, and she was like, "This is my UFO," and she put it on Instagram. And she's actually an influencer, socialite influencer, living in the Caymans right now. So so these are things that, repackaging, Winston, that's a good one. So you need to repackage, because the problem is the world does not accept things that are not gift wrap at this point in time. So you have a gift, but if the gift is not gift wrapped, then people don't appreciate it. So you must learn to gift wrap your gifts.
Very cool. And I think that's like, oh my gosh, I had to pay to learn that, and just it's so good, man. This is like, oh my gosh, and and I think when you're talking about having to wrap up the thing, I think it's very much about the packaging, how you package the entire thing to present it in a way that it is delectable, tasty, and sexy for the audience, for the person reading it or coming across that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why birthday gift, you don't give people your gift in a plastic bag, right? Like, here's your brush or something, like, here's a cake, and it's just...
Yeah, that's true. So,
right? So so you need to be presentable a bit, lah. That's what I...
That's true. And I think there are some people who, I mean, sometimes even the gift is not that fantastic, but the wrapping is good. It just gives it a lot of good, it's just like Winston's saying over here, reframe, repackage, and re-angle. That's a good way of looking at it. 3 R's.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Yeah. Thanks, Winston.
Yeah. Thank you, Winston.
Yeah. The rest of you, put likes, put comments. I know a few of you WYODC people are lurking. Come say hi.
Yeah, come say hi. So guys, we are live right now. So if you're watching now live, right, just leave a comment, say hi. We are live, there's this saying, like and share LNS, right? So I just saw who was it? It was Wayne who actually mentioned that earlier. It took me a while to know that LNS means like and share. I didn't even know that. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. That's interesting. So they do it because a lot of Singaporeans these days, not say a lot, a few of them are selling different wares, different stuff now. So the LNS basically means like and share. So hey, so we have Ben Carlin.
Hey Ben, WYODC.
Woo! All right, so we have Zach.
WYODC as well.
Yes, so it's all here WYODC.
I'm actually getting Sui, who is another member. She's a dancer, professional dancer, to come up with a WYODC dance and chant. So I need to check out.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see you dancing.
Maybe we'll see. I'll get you to dance. You're the
oh my gosh,
right?
Oh man, if I dance, I think you'll pay me not to dance. Yeah. Okay. So we have a few punch man, and now it's like the hand is like this is the symbol now. YODC, WYODC.
should be like this, right? Should be a pen or something, right? Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, a pen will work also because yeah, we use words to influence people, right?
yeah, true. Or the pen is mightier than a sword, right? Then you can just make it a sword. They hold it like a sword. WIODC.
Pretty interesting. Oh yeah. Okay. So I have another question. So you cover a fair bit. So you actually talked a little bit about this earlier already. But I think the question I want to ask you, what is your future plan moving forward? What's your future plan?
I think a future plan, if you're in digital marketing, the first thing, I mean, obviously there's a great wealth transfer, right? But to transfer the wealth, you also need a bit of wealth, lah. It's not, so you need capital, lah. So,
True.
And so what I feel is you need scalable business models. And so everything I'm doing is very deliberately a scalable business model, deploying minimal capital in a potentially exponential market. So basically, if you're in digital marketing, you need things to scale on cold traffic. That's it. If you put $1 in, bring $2 out, you can scale indefinitely already. And that's the key. So whenever I run one of these Facebook launches, it's times 4 times 5 to the traffic and everything. So initially it was all warm traffic, all great. But now if I'm getting 1 to 5 means I can scale. But obviously when you scale, it's not going to be 1 to 5 anymore. It might be 1 to 2, 1 to 3. But so for me, it's just scaling indefinitely the info product side. And then the supplement side is also also enjoying that exponential market. And for me, the reason why I'm in these markets is because my superpower is my two superpowers is the ability to teach and to make things sound significant, but also my direct response copywriting. I'm one of the best copywriters in the world. So I'm building everything around my superpower. And I think for you, it's also the question, yes, you want a scalable business, but also what are the kind of businesses you can build with the superpowers you already have? And what are the funnels you can build with the superpowers that you have? Because not all funnels are meant for everyone. So certain sales funnels do better. And that was actually from Todd Brown. You will know Todd. So I actually had a call with Todd a few years ago. And he told me the secret to sales funnel success is the ability to design the funnel around your strengths. And he said someone loves telemarketing so much in his mastermind group that his whole funnel was to get people to call him. Nice. The whole funnel is just phone number only. So basically that's his sales funnel, but he loves closing on the phone. So, and for me, I like the teaching aspect. I don't really like selling. I don't really like the push sell. So the whole Facebook group thing works for me. And I like the sales letters. I like video sales letters. I wrote a few video sales letters that I've got. I mean, I still have a top 10 offer in Clickbank right now. So I'm just going to push heavily into those and then build a team around that, because you can't scale without a proper team. But you need to find where the money is. Like basically what I shared, I think maybe last year was you right now, if you're starting out or you're trying to find what the next move is, you need to tap for oil. And you keep tapping for oil. Your whole thing is just to keep tapping for oil until you hit oil, then you build the refinery. Most people build the refinery first and then try to look for oil, which is a really bad way of doing it. They start a boba tea shop in the middle of like nowhere, and no one comes. I realized, so one of the things that happened to me a few years ago, I was looking for a gym. And in my area, it's a very small area at that time, like nice, pleasant suburb. There were like 6 or 7 gyms there. So I went to Anytime Fitness, which is an international chain. And I talked to the owner of that particular branch. And he was shaking his head. He said, I just thought if I set up a gym, everyone will come, because I didn't realize there were 7 other gyms. How can you not realize there's 7 other gyms? They're all there. It's like within your 2 km radius. So which means, right, then all the oil is already, there's no oil there, so you build a refinery, all the oil has already been drilled by someone else. So you need to be very strategic about these things.
That begs a question that I might want to ask as well. So if you're talking, because that one you're talking about Anytime Fitness, you can actually see there's like physical competitors around. But if you're talking about info products, which you are talking about earlier as well, info products, how can you differentiate yourself compared to other people? Because there's a lot of people in the info product space. How can you differentiate yourself from a competitor?
You need something unique, be it a mechanism, be it something else. If you look at the top info products, they're either there early, that means the first person to say, like already, I think Gary Anderson is coming out with a Clubhouse product, but it's the first one. So you either be first or you be different, meaning you talk about, like, for instance, my copywriting course, there's a lot of copywriting courses out there, but my copywriting course is pretty successful. Why? Because I focus more on offer creation than the actual, in a sense, the actual nuts and bolts of copywriting, because that you can get anywhere. But usually offer creation is very weak in other people's copywriting programs. And for me, it's the whole thing. Like, the only reason you're there is to build a UFO, a unique fantasy object, so that you can fly. And that's what Holy Grail does really well. Or, with the thing that is coming up, No Corona, it leads to something called gravitational courses, where you create courses so that people are attracted to you rather than you actually going out and doing that. And so that's really how you differentiate. You need to find something differentiate. If you say sales funnel mastery, you're not going to go anywhere. Or you need an angle. You need a focus. You need to give people what they want in a way they don't expect. Again.
Okay. Wow. So again, this is literally the stuff that you teach, but you're giving all this information away. And of course, during your coaching, your training, you of course go into much deeper detail. So I really appreciate you sharing all this with the people who are watching. And guys, if you're watching this right now, okay, please show some love in the comments to let Kenneth know that it's very much appreciated. I, for one, am very appreciative, and I can verbalize it. But if you guys can, if you want, just type in the comments, share this out, let people know, and then also to let them watch this quick training, quick video, even I would say, just to learn more about it. So a question for you, another thing, Kenneth. So if people want to, you were talking about No Corona, you're talking about all your WYODC, you're talking about your inner sanctum. So the question I have for you is, how can people reach you if they want to know about it? How can they actually reach you?
2 ways. Go to attentionempire.com. That's where you'll be notified of the No Corona is happening mid-February onwards. And we'll actually go through how you position yourself as a thought leader, so you can create courses. That's the one, correct? And I have a YouTube channel, which does not have what's the right word? Customized URL yet. So you have to go YouTube.
Benchmark.
Yeah, so you have to go to YouTube and then type WYODC. Mainly because I started 4 days ago. So, but and type I already have 50 subscribers, which is not bad, I think, from such a short time, and already like nearly 1,000 views, so not bad. So yeah, so WYODC on YouTube. Please help me subscribe because I want to get a customized URL, and that gives me, like I say, I'm taking people on a journey for the great wealth transfer. So that's where I'll be sharing a lot of my thoughts, a lot of the strategies that I observe, and all those things. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, once again, if you guys want to reach Kenneth, okay, so you can go to attentionempire.com. I'm just putting on the screen right now, attentionempire.com. Or the other thing is go over to YouTube, search for WYODC, and then and now here's the way to get into Kenneth's good books, right? Subscribe early, because you're going to be the first few to know. Then you're like, okay, who subscribed? So he will know you. So just a little bit, get in early.
And comment as well, just to say hi.
So help him out and he will remember you. So that's a good way to get attention as well. So any parting words before we go, man?
Any parting words before I go is this. So it almost sounds like contradictory, but they're two sides of the same coin. And that is, this pandemic is not going away anytime soon. It's not because we have all these new variants, and the US is still quite useless in containing the virus. Plus, half of them still either don't believe in the virus or don't believe in the vaccinations. So we have some very interesting problems, which then means for you, how are you going to position yourself to, one, survive the virus till next year, two, to ride on the K onto the next level? And actually the same thing, basically, how do you ride on the K? And if you're surviving now, if you learn how to ride on the K up, you start doing well. If you're already doing well, you ride the K up, you start seeing exponential results. And so because this pandemic is not a typical economic recession, it's not. Because most recessions are cyclical. That means boom times, bust times, bull times, bear times. But now both the bull and the bear are happening at the same time, because the pandemics are used as accelerants. And so one way to ride the K, especially if you have some form of expertise, is to create an info product and positioning it in a way so that you attract customers to it instead of you looking for customers. And that's where you can find me at No Corona, where I'll be teaching some of that principles.
Okay, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that, taking your time to share with us, all of us, and I really appreciate you taking your time. I know you're a very, very busy person. So, of course, yeah, you and also thankfully you choose the people that you want to hang out with, and I'm so honored you let me to become one of them. So very much appreciated.
WYODC.
Yeah, WYODC. No, WYODC. There we go, the whole pen. Now I need a marker. WYODC. No, this looks like a murderous weapon. No. Okay. All right, thank you, Kenneth. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove your screen, hang around, and I'll just kind of wave people off, all right?
Okay, sure. Cool.
All right. Thanks, Kenneth.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining the show. My name is Asher once again, and I'm really very honored for that I have my friend and mentor, Mr. Kenneth Yu, to join us. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this show. Do me a favor, if you like this, okay, share this, okay, leave a comment, forward to some of your friends so that they can also enjoy this very cool content. And I have much more coming up. So if you want to know what get notified of more of these interviews that I have planned ahead, so what you can do, just either add me as a friend, okay, or just add me as a friend. That's the easiest way. And what will happen is that whenever I put up any new content, you should be able to see that, or simply just message me and I'll let you be notified. I'll find a way, okay, message me and I'll add you onto a way to let you know there's the new content coming up. Okay, with that being said, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming over, guys. So this is the Starting Million Show with Asher Au. I will see you next time.